Hey guys, Dr. Christy Ennis. Today I am going to go over the 3-step process for frozen shoulder that's going to get that arm moving and feeling better, hopefully quickly too. Before we get to those exercises though, I want to give a shout out to David Meadows. Thank you so much for signing up for my Patreon page. I really appreciate it. For those of you guys who don't know, I do have a Patreon page which helps support me being able to keep doing these free videos for YouTube. So please go check that out. I would really appreciate it. All right, so I said this is a 3-step process because there are multiple parts to this. Frozen shoulder or adhesive capsulitis really means the shoulder gets stuck basically everywhere in the capsule. So things are just not moving. Because things are kind of getting scarred down, it's important to get some blood flow going. So step 1 is to get blood flow going in that arm. I am going to use my favoriteest lotion of all called Sombra, specifically Sombra Warm Therapy. It's got a little bit of capsaicin in it, so don't touch your eyes, okay? But I will actually even just put this on things if I need to loosen up. Like if I'm going to go for a run, I'll put some on my hips sometimes. But this is a great way to get throughout the shoulder. I'm going to use a little bit of it right now, maybe. You don't need a lot. I'll link this in the show notes below too if you guys want to order some. Amazon is fabulous for this. And then I'm going to pull out my Derma Edge and start to get some blood flow going. Ooh, and I do have shoulder issues. So I do have some bumpiness and crunchiness that needs to be worked on there. So this is great for the front of the shoulder, in through the pec, and yes, the neck typically gets affected too. So just going right up and through that neck, okay? Do it until you feel like, oh, things are smoothing out a little bit, so no time limit. To get the back of the shoulder, I love using the tennis ball, simple and easy. So if you go right up against a wall, usually in through the shoulder blade, I'm just gonna kind of show that there. Hopefully I won't lose my tennis ball because I'm kind of leaning on this. Don't watch my posture, it's not great right now. But leaning against that tennis ball, back and forth, you can do this in a chair or on the ground too. Don't mind my arm position, this arm moves well. All right, from there, after you've done that, got a little bit blood flow, we're gonna get a little bit more blood flow. All right, so you're going to let that arm hang. And you're just gonna add a little circle. So I'm not holding it up at all. This helps to what we call distract the joint, and this one should feel awesome, okay? The last one in this first set is going to be just shoulder blade squeezes, open the palms up. Squeeze and open. Resetting everything, trying to get out of this position, which is an exaggeration, but this does happen, and that's part of the reason frozen shoulder actually can even occur, okay? So now that we've got blood flow going, we're going to move on to what is called active assisted range of motion. We don't want to just try to jam through this and get it to just move. That actually can make it worse and go into spasm. So active assist, just got Sombra on my face. Active assistive range of motion actually uses something else to help it move. So the muscles get to stay more relaxed, okay? The very first one that we're going to do, you're going to take your forearms and press them up onto the elbows. If you can lift your elbows at all, great. If not, you can keep them down. And then you're actually going to add an open and a close. So you're going to go up, lift the elbows, if possible, open and close. Do not cause a lot of discomfort. Little minimal is okay. So 10 to 15 repetitions. Again, if you need to leave those elbows down, you can, but now we're getting a little flexion, some external and internal range of motion. Both of those things are obviously really good. All right, from here, if you have a broomstick at home or a dowel like I happen to have, if you take this behind your back, and we're going to say my left arm for right now is the yucky one, and really concentrate. You're going to start low, and you may not get far when you start this. That's okay. But you're going to try to let that right arm do most of the moving there. And notice I actually cannot move all that far in this one. So I need to be doing this one at home. All right. Again, 10 to 15 repetitions a couple times a day. If you need to do less repetitions, no problem. This is my makeshift pulley. So you do not have to go out and buy a pulley, but I find that either a strap or even the stash of a robe hooked to the a hook in like the bathroom or over your bedroom door. Most likely you don't have a TRX ring like I do, but if you do, go ahead and use that too. So again, if it's my left arm that's the problem, I'm going to use that right arm to pull down and lift that left arm. So this left arm is doing very little work. And you should find that if you're only able to lift to here by yourself, with this, you're going to get a little bit further. And this one usually is the one, besides those little pendulums, that actually feels the best for people. So don't be alarmed if you can't do all of these. It's okay. You need to start where you are. And hopefully with a bunch of different ones, you'll find the ones that really work best for you. Okay? I'm going to come right on over here. And I'm going to be at a little bit of an angle, not all the way forward, but a little bit of an angle. I'm actually going to walk up the wall. So again, not using, right? I'm not just doing this. I am allowing the wall to help me out a little bit. You can even use a towel or a hand cloth, face cloth to help you out here. But the angle, because this is actually the plane that the shoulder wants to move in and not jamming around things, okay? So about a 30 to 40 degree angle. Roughly. All right, there's your range of motion. Then the last part of this process, and you don't want to do this until you've done the other two steps, is stretching. Gentle stretching. Do not force these things, okay? So you may have to stick with those first two for a little while before you can move on to the stretching, and that's okay. No big deal. So what you're going to do, I'll show kind of this left arm. You can do this on a table, a counter, palm up though, that's important. And you're going to stretch to get a stretch in here. You can back that body up. You can even kind of twist or shift those hips. So we're really stretching all in here, getting a little bit of flexion in that shoulder too. Okay. You may need to start out with really short time periods, 10 seconds or so, and try to increase and let the body relax into that. The next one, again, pretend it's my right arm this time, is actually to help open this up and even get a little bit of external rotation. You might need to start with your arm relatively low instead of way up here, and then it's just a gentle kind of hold through. Gentle, right? If it feels okay and your arm's able to raise a little bit more, you can bring that elbow up a little bit further, right? Easy peasy. All right, from there, I'm going to come and face this way. You may only be able to get to here, to your buns. That's okay. But I'm going to take my good arm, reach behind, and gently kind of pull down a little bit and over as far as that arm will allow me. You can bend the elbow. If this is all you got, that's where you start, and then you're holding it there. Now notice I'm hunching forward. This is what not to do. You want to make sure that you're opening up that chest a little bit, okay? And then lastly, this one is a little bit harder, so that's why I save it till the end. If you clasp those fingers like this, if you can get those fingers up to it's like I'm totally relaxing, right? If you can get those fingers all the way up to your head, they're going to hang out here and even try to open those elbows a little bit. People may look at you funny, but it might even look like you're thinking. Who knows? So that's your sequence right there, okay? Get the blood flow going, get the range of motion, then do the stretching, and you should start to feel a lot better really soon. Thank you, guys.